Hi, I am Katina Horton, the Love and Freedom Toxic Relationship Recovery Coach. And today's Bible teaching is entitled Four Things His Track Record Tells You, but You Keep Ignoring Part 3. And don't forget, we wear ties so we can make an impact, right? That means we're analyzing, we're troubleshooting, we're implementing, empowering, and impacting the women in our homes, communities, and around the world. And the easiest and quickest way to do that is to do what? To just simply hit the like button and share this message. If you find it to be valuable, you know, other people who are going through healing, they want to heal with integrity, they want to heal and to get to a place of wholeness. Would you please hit the like button and share this message? So I want to review number one, right, that I gave 2 weeks ago. Number one is that he hates you, but he's willing to keep having sex with you and making babies with you. Number two from last week is what? His place is not safe. And number three for today, right, for this week is he's a covenant breaker. You signed up for a godly man, one who fears the Lord. But after marrying him, you found out that the only thing godly about him is what looked good on paper, right? You got caught up in the same three things that Eve got caught up with when she was what? Eating the fruit off the knowledge of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, right? Number one, she looked at what? It looks like it was good for food. Number two, it was aesthetically pleasing to the eyesight. And then number three, looked like one to make one wise. And so those three different things, you use the same thing, the same criteria when you vetted your narcissistic partner. What? You look like a good provider, right? Who's good for food. Number two, aesthetically pleasing to the eyesight, which meant what? Everybody else's approval was going to be granted. And then in turn, you were going to feel like what? You had your self-worth from his approval, from everybody else's approval, right? And then number three, he looked like he was one to make one wise. So he was very intellectual. He was kind of suave and debonair, so to speak, and had kind of like a little swag when he moved. And you got caught up in that, right? And that's why it looked good on paper. Not only does he not believe in the covenant vows of marriage, he makes fun of them. You weren't aware of this, though. If you had been aware, you never would have signed up for this kind of behavior. When you were dating, he love bombed you with flowers and poems and dinners and fancy trips and shopping sprees and cars, the whole 9 yards. Motorcycles. I mean, you guys were just doing it up, going everywhere, buying everything, right? Exploring all options. There was no stone left unturned, so to speak, when it came to vehicles and homes and penthouses and mansions, just on and on and on, right? Vacation homes, right? But then immediately after saying your vows, the idealization phase was over. He started devaluing you and talking about your family and friends, talking about your mama, your daddy, your grandmama, your great grandmama, your grandfather, your great grandfather, on and on and on. And then what he's the main thing is that his intention, right? That motive is to get into your head and make you think that everybody is out to get you, that everybody is jealous of you, right? That you are so broken that nobody would want to be with you, right? Because even when you got to the point of the discard phase and he's getting ready to leave you and he's trying to get you to support him, right? To be the emotional pacifier as he's what? Getting rid of you. Then it comes out where he's like, well, you know, you'll never find another man like me. Nobody's gonna love you like I loved you. And then you thinking to yourself, even at the time, even in your broken state, well, I hope not. I hope I don't find another man like you. If this is love, then I don't want it, right? And so sadly, because you haven't worked on your low self-esteem and low self-worth, you believe him. You believe every bit of his lies. And because of your brokenness in the areas of abandonment and rejection, You need his approval. It's attaching to make you what? It's attached to make you believe you have self worth. And let me share a secret with you. No one can make you feel worthy. Doing your self work by partnering up with the Holy Spirit and using the help of God, you can rest assured that Jesus' death on the cross and his redemption for your life and relationship back with God, right? That's enough proof that you are his daughter. You are trying to gain approval, and it's only going to keep you on this hamster wheel that's entitled the trauma disconnection lack cycle of addiction, right? And addictions are nothing but false solutions, right? To emotional, mental, spiritual, physical, psychological, intellectual, social, financial, sexual problems. They're false solutions to those things. You need the approval, but he's not going to give it to you. That's what you don't know. You keep going to changing your hair, buying more clothes, changing your shoes, changing your purses, changing everything on the outside. And he's still not going to give it to you. Every now and then, he's going to throw you a few breadcrumbs, right? He's going to take you from the penthouse to the basement, which is going to release certain chemicals from your body, right? The oxytocin and endorphins and adrenaline, all these chemicals that's going to be released, and dopamine being released from your body to help you to bond with him. And if you go to bed with him, what? Now you got the trauma bond, but then now you got the soul tie on top of it, right? So you've set up a cat and mouse chase games of sorts, right? And so what happens is that even when it came to Jacob in the scripture, he was getting paid by Laban. However, Laban rather, did not honor the covenantal agreement that he had with Jacob. And that agreement was what? At the end of working those 7 years, Rachel was going to be his wife, right? He basically duped him, and he wake up, and what happens? He got Leah. Leah is in his tent. And it's like, oh my Lord, what in the world has happened? And so instead of like snapping and then putting his frustrations out on Leah, he went to the person, right, that he knew the problem person was. And oftentimes, what we do is we project, we transfer, and then project somebody else's pain, somebody else that hurt us onto the person that we knew, right? Until a person that didn't have anything to do with whatever scheme went down, whatever deception. And no, Leah wasn't innocent, right? Because she what? She was in agreement with Laban. However, Jacob knew that the whole thing, the root of the problem was who? Laban. So he went to the person that was the root of the problem. And then what? Voiced his frustrations with him, right? And so when we choose a life partner, that's a major decision. And so if your wages, even though in this situation it was an arranged marriage, he still worked for her. That was his wages. So you're supposed to get married to a particular woman or man, and then all of a sudden the person reneges and like, no, I changed my mind. After you've done all of that work, what does that say about the person who made this agreement with you or any other kind of agreement? That means they're not trustworthy, right? And like I said, yes, it's true. It was an arranged marriage. At the same time, we cannot erase the fact that what happened happened. He did not honor his agreement. And then later on, we find out this is Laban's MO, right? He pulled this stunt with Abraham's servant, but he didn't have anything as bait with him because Abraham's servant already knew. Abraham told him, well, if they don't agree, then our covenantal agreement is broken, right? They had made an oath, right? He put his hand under his thigh, and they made an agreement. He said, hey, if they don't let you find a wife from there, then the agreement is broken. So Laban didn't have a way to actually be able to keep on in his deception. The following morning is when Abraham's servant found out that Laban's like, no, she's not going with you and all that type of thing, right? And then it ended up working out that she did end up going because there was no bait to keep holding Abraham's servant there, right? But with Jacob, there was bait. Jacob was running for his life. Esau was going to kill him. Jacob also did not have anywhere to live. And when you don't have anywhere to live and you running for your life, you on the run, people will use that as bait and do whatever it is they want to do to you, right? And if you don't know your worth, you will allow them to do it even in your broken state. The devil is a liar, right? And so when it came to Laban and Jacob, Laban didn't honor his agreement. And then later we find out in scripture twice it mentions Jacob mentioned that Laban had cheated him out of his wages, right? 10 times. Now, how you get to the point where you keep making agreements with people, they cheated you out of your wages 10 times? We're not talking about two, three, maybe even five, but by 10 times, right? And then number 10 is God's stamp of approval. So after happening 10 times, God came to Jacob in a dream, like, you need to be getting back home, right? He wasn't gonna go any further than that. Jacob didn't have calm enough sense to see, like, this is his track record. This is who he is because of his personality. This is his character. This is who Laban is. I need to peace out, and go to God and hope and pray for the best. As soon as what happened is that what he mentioned it to his wives, Rachel and Leah, you know, your father has cheated me 10 times. I ain't do nothing but do good work for him. I'm getting ready to leave, and God has told me to go back. And it's like, well, whatever you want to do, go ahead, because he's cheated us too. He got paid for us, and we didn't see any of the profits, right? So go ahead, whatever you need to do. And I'm paraphrasing this, right? And so when he mentioned it to Laban, after Laban tried to hoover him back to his homeland, Laban didn't care a hill of beans about what Jacob was saying. It's like, yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah. Jacob's going all passionate and going into this long thing about how he thought Laban was going to try to kill him, which was true. Jacob wasn't a fool. And then he going into this long thing about how he had to work, how his wages had been changed 10 times, all of this, the whole 9 yards. Laban didn't say anything about that, right? Because Laban is Laban. We got to let people be who they are, when they want to be it, how they want to be it, where they want to be it, why they want to be it. But that don't mean we in agreement with it, right? That don't mean that we go into a covenant to agreement because they want to be who they are, right? We can allow them to be who they want to be, and we can be who we want to be in two separate places, right? And so what happened is that after Laban came and tried to hoover Jacob, and he saw that it wasn't working because the Lord had come to Laban in the dream and said, don't say anything to Jacob, good or bad. But guess what? Laban still went on to say something to Jacob. He couldn't help himself. It's just like little kids. You say, you know what? Don't bother about saying anything, right? And then as soon as the dad comes in the door, the little girl, let me tell you what Bobby did. He got in trouble with mom today. They can't help themselves. And that's how it is with Laban. He couldn't help himself. Was he not going to not say anything? No. Narcissists are opportunists, and they're going to say something, right? We're the ones that have to show that we have what? Self-control. Exactly, right? And so what happened is that you've been hired for a certain position with a $25,000 sign-on bonus. This is one of the main reasons you took this job over another job offer. However, after 2 months, you don't receive the sign-on bonus. You go to your boss, you approach him, and he says, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Then he does a Laban on you, right? Well, if you work for another 6 months, then you'll get the $25,000 sign-on bonus. It doesn't take place, right? Then he makes 10 more agreements with you, like Laban did with Jacob, right? Oh, well, you can get 20,000 instead. So now you've been lower $5,000. Oh, well, you can get 18,000. Oh, 16,000, 14,000. He keep going down and playing with $2,000. Just keep subtracting, right? It don't make any sense. But once again, when you don't know your worth, when you don't know you have value, you allow other people to determine it for you, and they take advantage of you, and they do what they want at will. I want to remind you, you are enough. Reclaim your power, soul, and identity. And then I want to challenge you to reclaim the power, soul, and identity of your calling. Grab your keys to the kingdom and get your inheritance. Again, I'm Katina Horton, the Love and Freedom Toxic Relationship Recovery Coach. If you need coaching sessions, Bible teaching, speaking, all of that type of thing, you can go to thevalleyofgrace.com and book a call. Be blessed.